I need to tell you something that most doctors aren't talking about. There are 3 vegetables in the kitchen of the average American over 60 right now. Vegetables that seem completely harmless that your doctor likely never mentioned as a problem, and that could be silently stealing something from you that no medication can easily give back. Your ability to walk with freedom and safety. In the coming weeks, you will see this happening in ways you won't immediately connect to food. The leg that feels heavy sooner than it should. The balance that feels a little less secure than it was. The foot that falls asleep more easily. And most disturbing of all is that these vegetables have solid reputations for being healthy. They appear on every nutritious food list. They are exactly the kind of thing a doctor would tell you to eat more of. After age 65, the body responds to certain foods completely differently than it did when you were younger. And some foods that seem perfectly safe can begin to cause real damage silently, slowly, without obvious warning signs, until one day your balance is compromised and your steps no longer have the same security as before. This matters because falls are the leading cause of fatal injury for adults over 65 in the United States. Not heart attacks, not cancer, falls. And many of these falls begin long before anyone realizes they are coming. Stay with me until the end, because one of the vegetables I will name later seems so healthy that almost every American over 65 is eating it regularly, and you need to know about it. Click subscribe now and hit the bell, and let's start with the 3 you should eat. I know some of you are already turning up your noses. Beets have that reputation. You either love them or you avoid them. But what they do inside the body of an adult over 65 is specific and documented enough that I ask you to listen to the end before deciding. Here is the problem almost no one discusses with the clarity it deserves. As we age, blood vessels begin to get a little stiffer and a little narrower. This means the blood carrying oxygen and nutrients to the legs, feet, and brain has a harder time getting where it needs to go. When legs aren't receiving enough blood flow, things begin to deteriorate slowly. Muscles get weaker, balance becomes less stable, and feet begin to feel numbness or coldness. Most people simply assume this is normal aging, but it's not always normal, and it doesn't have to be this way. Think of it like a garden hose. When the hose is wide open and flexible, water flows easily to every corner of the garden. But when that hose gets stiff and the opening narrows, pressure drops. The parts of the garden furthest from the source start to dry out first. In the human body, the parts furthest from the heart are the feet and lower legs, and that is exactly why older adults feel the effects there first. The coldness, the numbness, the heaviness, the steps that feel less secure than they used to be. Beets contain natural compounds called nitrates. When you eat beets, the body converts these nitrates into nitric oxide, a molecule that sends a direct message to blood vessels to relax and open up. Wider vessels mean better blood flow. Better blood flow to the legs means stronger muscles, better balance, and better sensation in the feet. A study tracking older adults who drank beet juice before walking showed that these people walked measurably, faster and with less effort than those who didn't. This is not a small result. It is the body receiving real, measurable help from real food. Beets are also rich in folate, which helps protect the brain as it ages, and contain a group of antioxidants that give them that deep red color. Antioxidants that are actively working to protect blood vessels from the silent, slow damage that inflammation causes over the years. There is something deeply encouraging about this reality, that the same circulation problem making walks harder, making feet cold, and slowly compromising balance can be addressed with something as accessible as a beet. Not a medication with a list of side effects, not a medical procedure, not an expensive supplement. A beet a few times a week prepared in ways most people already know how to do. You can roast it, slice it in a salad, or mix it into a smoothie if you don't appreciate the pure flavor. A small beet, a handful of berries, a little ginger. You won't even taste it, but your blood vessels will know it was there. A few servings per week can make a real difference over time. And when we get to the 3 dangerous vegetables later, the concept of blood flow will return. This time, not in a positive way. The difference between a sweet potato and a common white potato is huge, and it matters much more than most people have been told. Sweet potatoes are rich in beta-carotene, the compound that gives them that beautiful orange color. Inside the body, beta-carotene is converted into vitamin A, and vitamin A is essential for keeping eyes sharp. For older adults, vision is directly connected to safety. When vision begins to decline and no one catches it in time, the risk of falling increases dramatically. You misjudge a step, miss the edge of a rug, and you go down. But what makes the sweet potato truly special for aging adults goes beyond vitamin A. It also helps stabilize blood sugar in a way that white potatoes simply don't. When blood sugar spikes after a meal and then plunges, that process over time damages the small blood vessels in the legs and feet. It also dulls the tiny nerve signals that help you feel where your feet are. Think of these nerves as small sensors on the soles of your feet, constantly sending messages to the brain. The ground is flat. There's a slight incline. Adjust. This constant conversation between the feet and the brain is what keeps you upright. But when blood sugar spikes repeatedly over months and years, these sensors start to go quiet. And when they go quiet, balance suffers in ways that no amount of exercise can completely fix, because the problem isn't in the muscles, it's in the signal. The sweet potato has a lower glycemic index than the white potato, which means it releases energy slowly and gradually, not all at once. This gradual release helps protect those tiny blood vessels and the nerve signals that keep you steady. Sweet potatoes also contain magnesium, potassium, and a wide range of B vitamins that support muscle function and help reduce nighttime leg cramps, something that affects a huge number of older adults and that most simply accept as a normal part of aging when it doesn't have to be. Nighttime cramps and interrupted sleep impact quality of life far beyond physical discomfort. Poor sleep compromises balance the next day, reduces reaction time, and affects mood and confidence in every step. A simple swap like replacing white potatoes with sweet potatoes several times a week is one of the most quietly powerful changes an American adult over 65 can make. Not because it is dramatic, but precisely because it isn't. It's the discrete choice that builds up over months until one day you realize the cramps are less frequent, balance feels more reliable, and your feet feel less numb at the end of the day. You can roast, mash them without too much butter or cream, or dice them for soups or stews. The skin has extra fiber, so leave it on when you can. Kale has a specific property that completely changed how I think about it, and it has everything to do with a process happening silently inside the arteries of millions of older Americans without anyone explaining what is occurring or what can be done. Kale is one of the richest plant sources of vitamin K1 on the planet, and vitamin K is involved in something critically important that most people never hear about. It helps regulate where calcium goes in the body. As you age, calcium can end up in the wrong places. Instead of staying in the bones where it belongs, it can begin to build up inside the arteries. And when this happens, arteries get stiff and hard, and blood has a harder time flowing through them, leading us back once more to the issue of blood flow to the legs. Stiffness arteries mean poor circulation to the lower body, and poor circulation means weaker legs, cold feet, numbness, and a balance problem that builds slowly until you are no longer sure when it started. Vitamin K helps guide calcium back to the right places, into the bones and away from the arteries. When arteries are clearer, more flexible and more responsive, blood flow to the legs improves in ways that translate to safer steps and more reliable balance week after week. Kale also has lutein, which most people associate with eye health. And yes, it protects vision, but lutein also crosses into the brain and has been shown in studies to help maintain the kind of processing speed and mental sharpness you need to react quickly when balance is challenged. That split-second reaction window that is partially lutein. Most falls don't happen because the legs suddenly give out. They happen because the legs stumbled and the brain didn't respond fast enough to correct it. What you eat over months and years either keeps that reaction window sharp or slowly lets it widen until one day it's just a little too wide to be reliable. This is something worth sitting down and considering, that the difference between a safe step and a fall may lie not in the effort you make to exercise, not in the medications you take, but in the nutrient you choose or fail to put on your plate several times a week. Kale can be a bit tough to eat raw. Massaging the leaves with a little olive oil for a few minutes breaks down the fibers and makes it much gentler for digestion. You can also lightly saute it, chop it into soups, or mix it into a smoothie. Just 1 or 2 cups a few times a week gives the body significant amounts of what it needs. And when we think of the 3 protective vegetables together, beets for blood flow, sweet potatoes for nerve signals and stable sugar, kale for clear arteries and reaction speed, what emerges is a complete dietary strategy for physical independence that requires no dramatic change, only consistent choices that build up over time in ways that muscles and balance will feel before any test shows. Corn is in everything. It's at every barbecue, every family dinner, every American street food cart, and corn itself is not poison. I want to make that absolutely clear. But for older adults who eat it regularly, there is a problem that most people never connect to what is happening in their legs. Corn is very high in omega-6 fatty acids, and the ratio between omega-6 and omega-3 in the diet has a direct effect on how much inflammation the body is producing. Here's the simple version. Omega-3s cool down inflammation. Omega-6s, when consumed in excess, feed it. And most Americans, especially older adults following a traditional diet, are consuming omega-6s in excess, far beyond what available omega-3s can counterbalance. Chronic inflammation doesn't feel like anything at first. There is no sharp pain, no clear warning, but it is working silently inside the blood vessels, inside the joints, and inside the small nerves of the feet. And over time, it leads exactly to the kind of slow damage that makes walking harder, worsens balance, and increases the risk of a serious fall. Corn also has a high glycemic index, similar to the problem we mentioned with the white potato. Blood sugar spikes, vessels take a hit, nerves take a hit. I'm not saying never eat corn again, but if you are eating it several times a week, you may be silently feeding a fire you don't know is burning. And the treacherous part is that this fire doesn't announce itself. There is no dramatic moment, just a gradual change over months and seasons where walking feels a little harder and standing feels a little less secure than it was before. What makes this vegetable particularly problematic for American adults over 65 is how the imbalance between omega-6 and omega-3 accumulates specifically in the vascular and nerve tissues of the legs, exactly the systems that need the most protection at this stage of life. Researchers have identified that the ideal ratio between omega-6 and omega-3 to minimize chronic vascular inflammation should be something close to 4:1. The typical American diet delivers a ratio of 15:1 or even 21 in many cases, and corn is one of the largest contributors to this imbalance when consumed as frequently as most Americans do. There is something important to recognize about this kind of silent damage. It doesn't happen dramatically. It happens so gradually that a person adjusts their expectations without realizing it. The walk that got a little shorter, the stairs that got a little more challenging, the moment of hesitation before standing up from a chair that didn't exist 2 years ago. Each of these moments seems small in isolation. Together, over time, they define the limits of a life. Trying to replace some servings of corn with beets or sweet potatoes in meals where it would be consumed is one of the highest impact proportional swaps available to adults over 65. Not because corn is extraordinarily destructive in occasional amounts, but because the replacement simultaneously delivers the reduction of the inflammatory load and the addition of protective compounds that the legs genuinely need. Fresh tomatoes are genuinely good for you, but canned tomatoes, the version most Americans use for soups, sauces, and stews, are a completely different story for older adults, and the reasons are specific and documented in ways that deserve to be explained clearly. The canning process for tomatoes involves a problem that rarely appears in healthy eating conversations. Tomatoes are acidic enough that the canning process often causes a compound called BPA to leak from the inner lining of the can into the food. BPA is a chemical linked in research to increased inflammation and disruption of hormonal balance, two things that aging bodies are already struggling to maintain. But beyond the BPA issue, canned tomatoes in most American commercial versions are extremely high in sodium, and excess sodium is one of the silent enemies of good circulation in older adults. It raises blood pressure, it causes fluid retention in the body, and that fluid retention in the legs isn't just uncomfortable. It puts pressure on the small blood vessels that supply the muscles and nerves of the lower legs. This pressure reduces the efficiency with which those muscles and nerves receive the oxygen and nutrients they need. And we go back to the same place. Weaker legs, less reliable balance, higher risk of falls. For someone who is cooking at home every night, making soups and sauces from scratch, doing everything they believe is right. This is exactly the kind of information that should have arrived much sooner. The effort you are putting in matters, and a small adjustment like this doesn't undo that effort. It makes it work even harder for you. The solution is direct and immediately implementable without any dramatic change in the cooking habits you already have. Choose fresh tomatoes when you can. They have the lycopene, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory compounds that make tomatoes, without the BPA and excess sodium that accompany the canned version. If you need canned tomatoes, because sometimes that's just what is available, look for brands that specifically mention BPA-free and no added salt on the label. This single swap, made consistently, removes a silent source of inflammation and circulatory stress from the diet without requiring any extra cooking skill, significant cost, or radical transformation of the menu you already practice. There is something worth recognizing about the type of person who cooks at home regularly for their own health. This person is already doing something that most do not. They are making active decisions about what goes into the body, and it is exactly this person who deserves access to the most accurate information available so that the effort they are putting in translates into the results they deserve. A different ingredient on a supermarket shelf can be the difference between a habit that is working and a habit that is being partially neutralized without anyone noticing. This is the one I want you to share with the people you love because almost every older American adult I know eats this regularly, and most have no idea what is happening to their legs over time as a result. Iceberg lettuce isn't causing damage, the same way the other two vegetables on this list are. It isn't triggering inflammation directly. It isn't introducing BPA or excess sodium. The problem is different and in some ways more insidious because it is completely invisible. Iceberg lettuce is 96% water. It has almost no vitamins, minerals, or protective compounds of real significance. Almost no vitamin K. Almost no folate. Almost no lutein. Almost no potassium or magnesium. And here is the central problem. When older adults fill their plates with iceberg lettuce, thinking they are eating healthily, they are actually missing the opportunity to eat something that would genuinely protect their legs, brain, and circulation. Researchers call this the nutrient displacement effect, and it is one of the most underestimated phenomena in American geriatric nutrition. You can only eat a limited amount of food per day, and every bite of something that delivers almost nothing is a bite that isn't being taken of something that could genuinely help. Think of the person who makes a large salad every day. They are proud of this habit, and they should be. They are making an effort that most people don't, but if that salad is built on iceberg lettuce, they are eating something that is 96% water. They are receiving almost none of the vitamin K that the arteries need, almost none of the folate that keeps inflammation under control, almost none of the magnesium that prevents painful leg cramps at night. Over months and years, this silent displacement of real nutrition builds up into real deficiencies that have real physical consequences. Vitamin K deficiencies lead to weaker bones and more calcium buildup in the arteries. Folate deficiencies lead to more arterial inflammation. Magnesium deficiencies lead to more muscle cramps, poorer sleep, and weaker muscle function in the legs. And all of this happens while the person feels they are doing the right thing, filling a plate every day, building a habit, taking care of themselves. The solution is the simplest on this entire list. Swap iceberg lettuce for dark leafy greens, kale, spinach, arugula. This swap alone can significantly change the nutritional foundation from which the aging body is operating. It requires no different cooking skills, no significant investment of time or money. It is literally picking up a different product in the same section of the same supermarket. And the difference this swap can make over 3, 6, or 12 months is the difference between a body that is receiving the building materials it needs and a body that is filling space without delivering what the legs, bones, and arteries are waiting for. For the adult who is already committed to health, who is already paying attention, who is already making the effort, this swap is the optimization that transforms good intentions into measurable results. Now that you know the 3 protective vegetables and the 3 harmful ones, I want to give you something concrete to implement. Not a list of vague intentions that you will forget by tomorrow, but a specific weekly protocol that combines the 3 protective vegetables in ways that maximize the synergy between them and that fits into a normal American routine without requiring special cooking skills or hard-to-find ingredients.